The biggest retail crisis will hit America this summer. As we're living in tough economic times, businesses are not left out. We're witnessing companies straining to make ends meet, while some resort to shutting down operations entirely. This unending economic disaster will take a different trajectory this summer. Shockingly, we're already witnessing some of the problems that are now part of the retail crisis. So the major concern is, what is fueling this unstoppable retail crisis? Well, let's spill the beans as we examine the incoming disaster in the retail sector. One core problem that will play a bigger role in the retail crisis is inflation. Inflation has been the biggest threat to the U.S. economy for a long time, and this situation is so serious now that it has made the government intervene. Likewise, the U.S. government, through the Fed, is having a hard time lowering the inflation rate back to 2%. On the other hand, retail firms have been bullied by inflation, which has made them increase the price of goods on the shelves. These cost adjustments have brought nothing but losses since many people, especially low-income earners, are unable to afford those commodities. As a result, many have become much more budget-conscious, and this behavior has hurt the profitability of various retail stores. One of the stores affected is Costco, which saw its sales in the grocery section shrink to 3.1%, a significant loss considering it previously made sales that skyrocketed to 4.8%. Aside from this, Costco incurred another 9.6% loss in e-commerce, while its market share deteriorated further. Apart from Costco, another retail chain to take the bullet of inflation is Kohl's. Kohl's has seen its sales crippled, and this can be noted from the way its earnings cratered from $5.8 billion to just $3.4 billion. Yet again, Big Lots recorded enormous losses that saw its market share degrade further to a loss of $3.48 per share. From this, we can expect inflation to be dominant in the summer, considering the Fed has yet to find a solution to the ongoing problem. The second problem in the retail crisis is overdue loans. The tight economy is making many companies reach out to lenders or investors to get money to keep their businesses running. While many firms hope that the borrowed money will yield a reasonable profit, this expectation is now turning into a misery of sorts as most are counting massive losses. Likewise, the debts are putting numerous retail companies into financial turmoil, and many of them are clueless about maneuvering their way out. We're now watching some entities gradually erase themselves from the face of business. One victim of the vicious death trap is Bed Bath & Beyond. This company is facing huge financial stress as it navigates ways to pay off $5.2 billion of debt. Ironically, the company is only valued at $19.78 billion, and this alone cannot pay a quarter of its debt. With that huge deficit, the firm is declared bankrupt, and thus the process of terminating operations has begun. To date, it has closed more than 100 stores, bearing in mind it already closed more than 400 stores in previous years. Once again, another casualty massacred by debt is Party City. The company is slowly withdrawing from the business environment. You'll be shocked to hear that this company has a debt of $1.67 billion, while its assets are only valued at $4.25 million. The company was declared bankrupt, and the procedure for winding up its activity has begun since 30 more outlets have closed their doors. Another captive on the list is Tuesday Morning. The company that was once in its prime is now falling out of hand. Correspondingly, its financial state is so dented that it didn't file for bankruptcy once, but twice. This is turning into a harsh farewell as the company is planning to close the remaining 200 stores in 25 states. Hence, this will summarize 5 decades of existence. From these, we can confidently say we expect more companies to borrow funds this summer to save them in the current tough economic environment. 2, we cannot rule out the possibility that some companies will have to close indefinitely due to their debt burden. The third problematic factor that will be part of the retail crisis is inventory shrinkage. As standards of living are high in the U.S., many people are finding it hard to put food on the table. This forces some individuals to join gangs as a means to get by. These criminal cliques have shifted their attention to robbing retail stores since, well, the loot is good and easy. On the other hand, U.S. authorities have shown inaction on the offense, thereby encouraging more thugs to do it. Retail companies have paid the price of crime, with many company owners vowing to shut down businesses if the rate of crime doesn't cool down. One person who propagates this idea is the CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon, who expressed frustration with the rise in retail theft. In actualizing his statement, he shut down 4 stores in Chicago alone. Walmart has suffered a series of shoplifting and burglary incidents to the extent that they lose $3 billion annually. Another giant retailer, Target, is following suit. Target is reckoning losses that are estimated at $500 million a year. Talking of the safety of employees, a drug chain company called Walgreens has seen some of its employees use force to protect themselves from thugs. One security guard gunned down an aggressive robber because it was the only way to bring sanity into the outlet. This alone shows that no retail store is immune from the alarming crime rate that we're witnessing. So we expect more burglaries and thefts this summer as people find ways to make a living in a compelling economic circumstance. The next constituent of the retail crisis to expect is the strain in the distribution channel, which will cause an imbalance in the demand and supply of commodities. Well, here's an interesting fact. Did you know that the Apple company lost $6 billion in sales from supply chain issues alone? That's right, Apple has been facing chip shortages, which are crucial in the manufacture of its gadgets. China's zero-COVID policy has brought in tight measures that have caused numerous disruptions in the manufacturing sector of Apple. Apple's reliance on China is unquestionable, and this dependence is transitioning into a grievous mistake on Apple's part. Besides Apple, CVS Pharmacy claimed to be running short of medical supplies due to the overwhelming demand for prescriptions. This scarcity is expected to last until the end of this year. And aside from this, Nike has been in the spotlight for supply chain issues. Nike reported a 44% overload in inventory due to panic ordering occasioned by uncertainties about arrival times. Similarly, Nike has been hit with port congestion and shipping delays in Asia. In addition, the supply chain issue caused Nike's market share to fall, which aroused the attention of its investors. Correspondingly, the investors want a detailed report of how Nike is currently handling the distribution glitch. Unexpectedly, Nike kept quiet on the investors' inquiries, and this is creating tensions between the two parties. From the scrutiny of these events, we can still expect supply chain issues to play an integral role in the retail crisis, as most companies have yet to fill the distribution gap. Lastly, another element of the retail crisis that will hit the country is the ever-changing consumer behavior. People's buying habits are shifting from buying furniture to buying only essential commodities such as food items. The economy is tight, and the budget is even tighter. People are cutting down on luxury and comfort, and it's affected retail outlets that specialize in selling furniture. One good example of a retail store affected by this shift is Office Depot. The company has cited frustrating sales, which have forced it to shut down more than 250 stores. We can understand that this low profitability is caused by less demand for office furniture. In fact, policies like working remotely or at home have also hurt the business. On the other hand, Berkshire Hathaway recently distanced itself from furniture deals with RH, and this is an indication that the furniture business is not booming. From these analyses, we can speculate that more furniture-related companies will be greatly affected by the retail crisis this summer. These problems will be part of the anticipated retail crisis. Can we expect the footsteps of this economic dilemma to continue this summer? From how things stand, we may see the strides of the crisis progress even into next summer, as things don't appear to be getting any better at this time.